Hello everyone, today I will discuss the chemistry section from NEET 2023 paper. So let us discuss the paper. The first question is, taking stability as the factor, which one of the following represents correct relation? Now this question is from inert pair effect. We know that as we go down the group, the stability of lower oxidation state increases, right? So if you go down the group, we have boron, aluminium, gallium, indium and thallium. We know that in thallium it is +1, which is predominant oxidation state. So +1 here is more stable than +3. So if you go by the options, it is A option which is correct. That thallium in +1 is more stable than thallium in +3. Now if you see the third option, indium in +3 is more stable than indium in +1. This can be true, but you know that down the group, the stability of lower oxidation state is what it increases, right? So according to that, one is the most appropriate answer. Now, if you see the second question, the second question says, identify the product in the following reaction. Now, this is your benzene diazonium salt. The first reagent is, we have Cu2Br2 in the presence of HBr. We know that this is your Sandmeyer reaction, and the product is bromobenzene. The second reagent is magnesium in the presence of dry ether. This is the preparation of Grignard reagent. We know that magnesium inserts between carbon and this bromine. What we get is vinyl magnesium bromide. Now, the third part is basically this preparation of Grignard reagent is followed by hydrolysis. So after hydrolysis, you know what you get. This is partial positive, and you know that this is a partial negative end. So what do you get is simple benzene. What we get. So C is the right answer. Please do not go by the options which are ticked by the pen. Okay, so let us see the third question. So the second question is very simple. Let us see the third one. The given compound is an example of vinylic halide, benzylic halide, arylic halide, or allylic halide. So you know that what is allylic carbon? It is the carbon adjacent to the carbon which is attached to a double bond. So if you see, this is exactly what I am talking about, that this is your allylic carbon. Why? Because this carbon is adjacent to this carbon which is attached to the double bond. So this is your allylic carbon, and hence this halide is your allylic halide. So fourth is the right answer, that the compound is an example of allylic halide. Now next question. The question says that in Lassane's extract of an organic compound, both nitrogen and sulfur are present, which gives blood red color with Fe3 plus ions due to the formation of. We know that we prepare the sodium fusion extract, right? But then in an organic compound which contains both nitrogen and sulfur, then what do we do is, this is nitrogen plus sulfur. What happens? Suppose if it is having sulfur, it contains both sulfur plus nitrogen, plus we have the sodium fusion extract. We prepare the sodium fusion extract with FCN minus. What do you get is SCN minus, right? This is my sodium fusion extract. Now when this reacts with ions, what do you get? We get something of this sort, and this shows blood red coloration. So blood red coloration is an indication. It's basically that in an organic compound, both sulfur and nitrogen are present. So the blood red coloration is because of this compound. So if we see the next question, the next question is, given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion and the other is labeled as reason. So assertion says a reaction can have zero activation energy. Now we know that activation energy is mostly positive, but it can be zero as well as negative. In the superconducting materials, it can be negative also. So yes, this is absolutely correct. When one of the reactant is radical, or both the reactants are radicals, then yes, it can have we can have zero activation energy. And the reason is the minimum extra amount of energy absorbed by reactant molecules so that their energy becomes equal to threshold value is called activation energy. Yes, it is an activation energy, the definition of activation. But this is not the reason for the statement number one. I mean, this is not the reason for this assertion. So both are correct. Both A and B are correct. Both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of. So C is the right answer. Both are correct. A reaction can have zero activation energy. Please note, it can even have negative activation. Next question is the right option for the mass of CO2 produced by heating 20 gram of 20% pure limestone. Now, 20% of 20 gram, we know that 20% of 20 gram is basically 4 gram. This is 4 gram. And we can find out the number of moles. So moles of limestone is given mass upon molar mass. What is the molar mass? Calcium, it's 40. So what is the molar mass? 40 plus 12 plus 48. So this is 100. It is 4 upon 100. Right? 4 upon 100, and I can write it 1 upon 25. Now we know that 1 mole of calcium carbonate produces 1 mole of carbon dioxide. So 1 upon 25 moles will produce 1 upon 25 moles of CO2. Now we have the moles of CO2, we can easily find out the mass, that is moles into molar mass. What is the molar mass of CO2? That is 44. So what is the answer? 6. So this is 7, right? This is 1 upon 25. Sorry, this is 1 upon 20. Yes, so this is 1 upon 25. So 1 upon 25 into 44. This will give you, when you solve it, you will get 1.76. C is the right answer, 1.7. It was 1 upon 20. Next question, complete the following reaction. Next question is complete the following reaction. Now, the first step is the reaction with HCl. That's the nucleophilic addition reaction, and you get cyanohydrin, absolutely correct. And then it is treated with concentrated H2SO4, followed by heating, you get C. What is C? Okay, so basically you have the cyanohydrin. And when it is treated with concentrated H2SO4, we know that there is hydrolysis followed by dehydration. This is hydrolysis of what? Hydrolysis of cyanide to acid, and hydrolysis followed by dehydration, because it is followed by dehydration of So what do you get? So when you perform the hydrolysis, get something of this, and then there is it is followed by hydrolysis. So what do you get? After the hydrolysis part, you know that this goes in the form of water, and then you have H over here, and you get something of. So if you go by that, A is the right. A is correct. So this reaction, the cyanohydrin, from the cyanohydrin, when we treat it with concentrated H2SO4, basically it is the hydrolysis of cyanide to the acid, and then it is followed by dehydration. And it is followed. Let us discuss the next question. The next question is again statement type question. A unit formed by the attachment of a base to one dash position of sugar is known. Absolutely correct, because we know that this is your, yes, we know that this is your 1 dash position, then this is 2 dash, then this is 3 dash, it is 4 dash, and then there is 5 dash 4. Right? So a So this is absolutely correct. It gives you a nucleoside. And the second statement says when nucleoside is linked to phosphorus acid at 5' position of sugar moiety, we get a nucleotide. Yes, we get a nucleotide, but then it is linked to phosphoric acid, not phosphorus acid. This is wrong. This is linked to phosphoric acid. Phosphoric acid. So statement number 1 is correct, but then statement number 2 is, so fourth is the right answer. Yes, when nucleoside is linked to phosphoric acid, not phosphorus acid. Okay, let us discuss the next question. The next question is from the solid states. A compound is formed by two elements A and B. Okay, we have two elements A and B. The element B forms CCP structure. CCP structure means the Z value is 4, that is FCC structure. It is 4. And atoms of A occupy 1/3 of the tetrahedral void. We know that the lattice where we have the tetrahedral and octahedral voids, then the value of Z equals to the number of octahedral voids and the value of 2Z equals to the number of tetrahedral voids. So tetrahedral voids are 8. So basically it is occupying 1/3 of 8. Right? 1/3 of 8. So when you solve it, it becomes 2. This becomes 2 and 3. So basically the formula becomes A2B3. The formula becomes A2B3. Okay, and then the value of x plus y. X plus y is 5. X plus y is 2 plus 3 is 5. Next question. The stability. Next question is simple, directly from NCERT. The stability of most of the paper was from NCERT only. The stability of Cu2 plus is more than Cu plus salts in aqueous solutions. Please note this line, that aqueous solutions. So Cu2 plus aqueous is more stable than Cu plus aqueous. Yes, absolutely. Why? First, because it is smaller in size. It is smaller in size, and if it is smaller in size, can I say that it will have higher hydration energy? Yes. So the answer is hydration. So the stability is more because of higher hydration. Next question. Next question. Next question is match the following. Match list 1 with list 2. So coke, you know, it's carbon. That's a reducing agent. So A is going with 3. So I can easily eliminate 2 and 3. A is going with 3. Diamond, in diamond, the carbon atoms are sp3 hybridized, whereas in graphite it is sp2 hybridized. So A is going with third and B is going with first. So even if you go by that, fourth is the right answer. So coke is going with third. Diamond, in diamond, each carbon is sp3 hybridized. Fullerenes is having cage-like structures. Example is C60. Yes, Buckminster fullerene. Fourth, and graphite, in graphite is used as a lubricant because of its structure, flexible structure. Graphite is Let us discuss the next question. The next question is again assertion reason type question. The next question is helium is used to dilute oxygen in diving apparatus, and the reason is helium has high solubility. Now look here. We know that first of all, this question is from the application part of Henry's law, where we discuss the solubility of gases. Now helium is having low solubility, right? And we also know that when we go down, when we are diving, then the pressure increases. When the pressure increases, what happens? We have the compressed air, and breathing that compressed air can be harmful. So helium is used as a diluent, and it is used as a diluent, and also it has low solubility. Blood. It has low solubility in the blood. So helium is used to dilute oxygen diving apparatus. Absolutely correct. And we cannot dilute it with nitrogen because of its high solubility. Right. So A is true. A is definitely true. But B has high solubility. No, it is having less solubility. So B is false. So A is true and R is. Next question. Some tranquilizers are listed below. Which one from the following belongs to barbiturates? Barbiturates are the derivatives of the barbituric acid. We know that they form the class of tranquilizers, and from it veronal is the example. Veronal is one of the barbiturate or the derivative of barbiturate. Yes. Next, Which one of the following statements are not correct? Hydrogen is used to reduce heavy metal oxides to metals. Yes, heavy metal oxides like FeO. Heavy water is used to study reaction mechanism. Yes, especially in the exchange reactions where we exchange the hydrogen atom with deuterium. Absolutely correct. Hydrogen is used to make saturated fats from oils. Yes, we use it for the hydrogenation purpose. And the HH bond and dissociation enthalpy is lowest. It's not lowest because of its small size. There are a lot of attractions between the two atoms, so it is not lowest. In fact, it is one of the highest. It is one of the highest. Hydrogen reduces oxides of metals that are more active than iron. No, that are not more active than iron, that are less active than iron. So the not correct. So not correct are D and E. So D and E are not correct. So fourth is the. Let us discuss the next question. For a certain reaction, the rate when the rate is given to be K times and B. What it is saying, the initial concentration of A is tripled, keeping the concentration of B constant. Okay, so the new rate will become basically the R dash will be proportional to TA and B is same. That means the concentration of B is constant and A becomes 3. So we know that R dash is directly proportional to 9 times of and B. So it becomes 9 times of the initial rate. So it increases by a factor of 9. So D is the right answer. D is the right answer. Fourth is the right answer. Increase by a factor of 9. Next question. Combination between, okay, which one is an example of heterogeneous catalysis? Heterogeneous catalysis when the phase of the reactants and catalysts both are different. So let us see which one is an example of heterogeneous. Okay. Let us see the first one. Combination between dinitrogen and dihydrogen to form ammonia in the presence of finely divided iron. This is the answer. This is the answer because dinitrogen, dihydrogen, they are gases, and then we have the finely divided iron, which is solid state, and that's the catalyst. So A is the right answer. Oxidation of sulfur dioxide into sulfur trioxide in the presence of nitric oxide. We know sulfur dioxide to sulfur trioxide in the presence of nitric oxide. All three are gases. Hydrolysis of sugar. C12H22O11. This is aqueous. Hydrolysis means water, which is also liquid, and then H2SO4 acid, which is also aqueous or liquid. Yes, this is also an example of homogeneous catalysis. And the last one, decomposition of ozone in presence of, we know that decomposition of ozone, O3 gets converted to O2 in the presence of NO and NO2. Then these are all our gases. So this is also an example of homogeneous catalysis. Let us discuss the next question. Which one of the following statements is correct? Okay, so magnesium plays roles in neuromuscular function and interneuronal transmission. No, magnesium doesn't play the role there. The daily requirement, it's the line from the NCERT only. The daily requirement of magnesium and calcium is 200 to 300 milligram. So it is written to be 0.2 to 0.3 gram. That's the same. All enzymes that utilize ATP in phosphate transfer require calcium as the cofactor. No, this is a repeated statement. It requires magnesium as the cofactor. And the bone in human body is an inert. No, it is not inert. So the correct one is C. The correct one. Yes, let us discuss the next question. The next question is weight of 2 moles of the organic compound which is obtained by heating sodium ethanoate with sodium hydroxide in the presence of calcium oxide. So we have sodium ethanoate, the presence of NaOH plus CaO. We know that this is your soda line, and you also know the product we get CH4 plus we get Na2CO3, right? And we get H2O. But it is talking for 2 moles. 2 moles means 2 moles of methane, and 1 mole of methane means its molar mass, that is 10 gram. 2 moles means 32 gram. So C is the right answer. Let us discuss the next question. The next question is the element expected to form largest ion to achieve the nearest noble gas configuration. Very simple. We know that nitrogen requires 3 electrons in order to achieve the stable noble gas configuration. So it is N3 minus, and it is having the largest size, and it is having the largest ionic radius. Yes, correct. Yes. So we have Na plus, O2 minus, F minus, N3 minus. All of them become isoelectronic species, and we know that more the charge, or you can say more the negative charge, more will be the size. Next question. The correct order, this is question from molecular orbital diagram or molecular orbital theory. The correct order of energies of molecular orbitals. Now, in case of N2, N2 is the case of sp mixing, right? If it is the case of sp mixing, then sigma 2pz is raised in energy than pi 2px and 2py. So the answer will be sigma 2pz is less in energy. So B is the right answer. Yes, because this is the case of sp. Next question. Homoleptic means which contains the same kind of ligand or the one type of ligand. So if you go by it, diamine included. Second answer, potassium trioxalato aluminate third. Yes, this is the answer. Trioxalato aluminate third, because we have aluminium 2O4 trioxalato, and this is K3 aluminium. This is an example of homolaptic complex. Next question. Next question is, intermolecular forces are forces of attraction and repulsion between interacting particles that will include, first of all, they are what we call van der Waals interaction, and ionic bonds and covalent bonds are not intermolecular force attraction. They are not intermolecular force. So we will not include covalent bonding in that. So yes, it is London forces, what we call, or dispersion forces, dipole induced dipole, and then there is a special kind of dipole which is hydrogen bonding. So A, B, C and E. A, B, C and E are correct. A, B, C are correct. So D is the right answer. Next question, the number of sigma bonds, pi bonds, lone pair in pyridine. Very simple question. This is the pyridine, and this is lone pair, which is, we know that this lone pair is localized. So, and please do not forget these hydrogens, because it will help you, because it is required for the sigma bond. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sigma bonds, 3 pi bonds and 1 lone pair. The right answer. Next question. Select the correct statements from the following. Atoms of all elements are composed of 2 fundamental particles. No, 3 fundamental particles. Electrons, protons and neutrons. So A is wrong. B, the mass of an electron is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg or 10 to the power minus 28 gram. Yes, absolutely correct. All the isotopes show same chemical properties. Absolutely correct, because they have the same number of protons. Protons and electrons also, if it is neutral. Protons and electrons are collectively known as nucleons. No, protons and neutrons are called nucleons. And Dalton's atomic theory regarded atom as the ultimate particle of matter. Absolutely correct. So B, C, E are correct. B, C, E is the right answer. Let us discuss the next question. Identify products in the following reaction. So this is the Clemmensen reduction. This is Clemmensen reduction, zinc amalgam in the presence of concentrated HCl. Clemmensen reduction, we know that it converts the carbonyl group, that is aldehydes, and ketonic group to alkanes. So if you see carefully, this is your ketonic group, yes, and this is your aldehyde. Yes, this is your aldehyde. So what will be the answer? So the answer will be B is the right answer, because it will reduce the carbonyl group to the alkanes. Given below are 2 statements. In the equation delta G is equal to minus NFE cell, the value of delta G depends upon N. Yes, absolutely correct. It depends upon the value of N. If you change this N, the number of electrons involved or transferred, then yes, the delta G value changes. And It changes because, now see, E cell is an intensive property and delta G is an extensive property. Absolutely. Delta G is an extensive property. We can also show it like this because we know that delta G by N, if you see, and that will be basically minus E cell. So if you see, the extensive property upon extensive property gives you the intensive property. So yes, it is the intensive. E cell is intensive property and delta G is your extensive property. So both are correct and R is the correct explanation. Correct. Let us see the next question. Which amongst the following, this is again a repeated one, is correct graphical representation of Boyle's law? We know Boyle's law, P is inversely proportional to V at constant temperature. At constant temperature, right? And we can also say that P is equal to K times 1 upon V. That means if I draw a curve between graph between P and 1 by V, it is a straight line. Like this, it passes through the origin. So if you see, third is absolutely correct. Yes, third is absolutely correct. I mean, third is correct because P and 1 by V this is, and T3 is greater than T2 is greater than T1. Absolutely correct. Why? Because we know that PV is equal to constant, and we can also say that PV is equal to nRT. So can I say it is directly proportional to T? So by that logic also, this is correct. And so D is wrong. Fourth cannot be the answer. And regarding P and V, it has to be 1 T2. But then it has to be T1 because we know that if I take a suppose if I choose any volume, right? If I see on this line, then because we know that pressure is directly proportional to temperature, so the T1 should have been greater, right? T1 should have been greater, so this sign should have been the reverse one, and this cannot be the answer. So C is the right answer. C is the right answer. Let us discuss the next question. The next question is the relation between Nm, that is the number of permissible values of magnetic quantum number for a given value of azimuth. A very simple question. We know that Nm, that is magnetic quantum, the values, the permissible values, they are equal to 2L plus 1, right? 2L plus 1. So if you do it like this, rearrange it, Nm minus 1 upon 2 is equal to L. L is equal to Nm minus 1 by 2. Very simple. Very simple question. Next question. The conductivity of centimolar solution of KCl at 25 degrees Celsius is this, and the resistance of the cell containing the solution is this. Find the cell constant. We know that G into G star is equal to kappa, which is conductivity, where G is the conductance, which is 1 upon R, and G star is your, what is G star? G star is your cell constant, L by A. Kappa. So basically what you are supposed to do is simply multiply these two. Simply multiply these two. So kappa into R will be the answer, and kappa into a kappa value is given and R is also given. So going by that, it will be, you can just simply multiply it and get the answer, right? Next question. Next question is, next question is, consider the following reaction and identify the product. Okay, so we know that at the in the first step, this will be H2 positive, then this goes, I get a positive here, but then we know that if I shift the hydride, in order to get a stable 3-degree carbocation, then the new carbocation generated will be like this. Like this, and then Br negative comes and attack over here. So second is the right answer. The right answer. Please do not mark fourth because we know that stability order of carbocation, that is 3 degree, more than 2 degree, then 1 degree. Let us discuss the next question. Which amongst the following molecules on polymerization produces neoprene? Very simple. We know that chloroprene is the monomer. Chloroprene is the monomer. So C, the right answer. Chloroprene is the monomer for neoprene, which is your synthetic rubber. Next question. Among the following, the total number of species not having 8 electrons around central atom. Basically, We know that there are some limitations of Lewis concept, that is hypovalent species, hypervalent species. So we know PCl5 is the hypervalent species, PeCl2 is hypovalent, AlCl3 is also hypovalent. These three are the three. The answer, because we know AL3 is having 6 electrons, PCl2 just 4 electrons, PCl5 10 electrons. So all are the exceptions of Lewis concept or the octet rule. Next, amongst the given options, which of the following molecules acts as a Lewis acid? I've done it multiple times. BF3 acts as a Lewis acid, right? Because it is having the vacant p or bi. Now, given below are two statements. One is labeled as again assertion reason. Metallic sodium dissolves in liquid ammonia, giving a deep blue solution which is paramagnetic. Yes, deep blue solutions are due to ammoniated electrons like this. Yes, deep blue color is because of this type of ammoniated electrons, or I can show this type of ammoniated electrons. And yes, these solutions are paramagnetic in nature. Yes, and second, the deep blue solution is due to formation of amide. No, the deep blue color is not due to the formation of amide. In fact, when you keep it undisturbed for some time, there is the formation of amide. But then the deep blue color is because of these ammoniated electrons. Right? So A is correct, but B is wrong. So A is true, but B is false. R is false. Right? Reason is false. Second, which of the following reactions will not give primary amine as the product? We discuss this in amines or nitrogen compounds. Then the reduction of cyanides, amides, all of these, the reduction of cyanides gives you primary amine, that is CS3NH2 is the product. Then the amide will give you CS3. This is your Hoffman bromamide reaction. So here you will get CS3 and NH2. That means amine with one carbon less. And if you see the first one, the reduction of amide will give you amine. That is also a primary amine. But if you see isonitrile or isocyanide, that gives you secondary amine. This gives you secondary amine. Yes, this gives you secondary amine, not the primary one. So fourth is the right answer. Will not give a primary amine. So isocyanide will not give a primary amine. Next question. All the transition metals except scandium form MO oxides which are ionic. Absolutely correct statement. If you see NCERT, it's in the table. You can easily see that we do not have this MO type of oxide for scandium. The highest oxidation number corresponding to the group number in transition metal oxides attained in Sc2O3 to Mn2O7. Absolutely correct, because we know that Sc2O3 plus 3 to Mn2O7 to plus 7. Yes, there is the highest oxidation state corresponding to the group number is attained in this. Basic character increases from V2O3 to V2O5 to V2O5. Now this is wrong, because you know that lower the oxidation state, more will be the basic character. So this statement is not true. Second is correct. Third is not true. V2O4 dissolves in acids to give VO4 3 minus salts. No, V2O4 dissolves in acids to give VO2 plus type of ions. VO4 3 plus of type of ions are given by V2O5. When we have V2O5, that gives you VO4 3 minus. And CRO is basic. Yes, I told you that the one in the lower oxidation states is basic, and Cr2O3 is amphoteric. Absolutely, it is amphoteric. So E is also correct. So the answer is which are incorrect. So incorrect are C and D, C and DO. Okay. Let us discuss the next question. The next question is, consider the following reaction. This is one of the important reactions from ethers. And we know that now we need to break the bond, cleave the bond around the ethereal oxygen. So we know that we need to cleave it like this for obvious reasons, because first we will get a stable carbocation, that is benzylic cation, because we cannot have the positive over here due to the instability of phenyl cation. So the I negative will attack on here. So you will get benzyl iodide and phenol. Benzyl iodide and phenol. Next, which among the following options is correct? Very simple. Delta H is equal to delta U plus delta NG/RT. So delta H is equal to delta U plus delta NG/RT, where delta NG is the number of gaseous products minus number of moles of gaseous reactant. Next question. What fraction of one edge-centered octahedral void lies in one unit cell of FCC? We know that in FCC, first of all, how many edge centers are there? 12. 12 edge centers, right? 12 edge centers. And on 12 edge centers, we know that the contribution is of one half center is 1 by 4. So if you go by that logic, 12 into 1 by 4, that is 3. So on 12 edge centers, we have 3 octahedral voids. So one edge center we will have 3 upon 12, that is 1 upon 4 octahedral. So fourth is the okay. Next question. Next question. Given below are two statements. The nutrient deficient water bodies lead to eutrophication. No, the nutrient rich water bodies. This is a statement from NCERT again. The nutrient rich water bodies, because it will lead to dense population of plants, dense plant population. And eutrophication leads to decrease in the level of oxygen in the water bodies. Absolutely correct. So first is false, second is true. C is the right. Which amongst the following will be most readily dehydrated under acidic conditions? So if you see in all of these, we have NO2 group, which is electron withdrawing group, and electron withdrawing group will decrease the stability of carbocation. So if we know that when it is dehydrated, we get a positive here, and this is most stable carbocation, right? Third is the right answer. Next, match list 1 with list 2. So first one is peroxo disulfuric acid, which is Marshall's acid. We know that first one is H2S2O8. How we can draw it? This, and we have the peroxo linkage, right? Something like this, H2S2O8, right? So in peroxo disulfuric acid, we have 1 SOOS and 2 SOH and 4 S double bond O. Yes, so A is going with third. So second is eliminated, fourth is eliminated. Let us see for sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is this. Sulfuric acid is this. So we know that it is having 2 SOH and 2 SO. So that means B is going with 4. B is going with 4. So A is the right answer. A is the right answer. Pyrosulfuric acid is oleum. What is pyrosulfuric acid? That is oleum. So in pyrosulfuric acid, that is oleum, that is yes, this is your oleum. So here you have 4 SO4. That means C is going with 2. No, C is going with, just a second. We are in pyrosulfuric acid, we are having 2 SOH, yes, 2 SOH and 4 S double bond O and 1 SOS, 1 SOS. So just a second. A is going with third, B is going with fourth, and C is going with 1. Yes, not the first answer. I'm so sorry, not the first answer, but the C option. The C option, because in oleum, because the C is going with 1, that is 2 SOH, 4 S double bond O and 1 S. Okay, so C, third is the right answer, not the first one. Let us discuss the next question. The next question is this, very simple question. This is your tolerance reagent. We know that aldehyde reduces tolerance reagent, but then ketones do not. So this is your ketone and this is your aldehyde. So this will remain intact. This will remain intact and this one will be converted to C. Fourth is the right answer. Let us discuss this, a series of reactions. So first one is CS3CHO. CS3CHO. It is treated with lithium aluminium hydride, which is a strong reducing agent. It is converted to ethanol. And the next step, it is your H2SO4 and heat, that is acidic dehydration. We know that we will get alkene. The next step, it is HBr. We will get something of this sort. And the last one is the this is okay. So this is Wurtz-Fittig reaction. So this is Wood's fatigue reaction, and you will get something like this and CH2 H. So second is the right answer. This is the Wood's fatigue reaction. The next question. The next question. The reaction that does not take place in the blast furnace between 900 to between 900 to 1500 Kelvin, we have, yes, we have this reaction. Absolutely correct. FeO plus CO gives Fe plus CO2. C plus CO2 gives CO, and obviously this reaction where CaO is used as a is added, quicklime is added as a flux to remove this siliceous impurity in the form of calcium silicate or slag formation. So second is the one which does not take place in this range. Second is, in fact, the second reaction takes place in the temperature range of 500 to 900 or 800, right? So this is the right answer. Let's discuss the next question. Pumice stone is an example of, now pumice stone is an example, is a soul. It is a solid soul. Basically, it is gas in liquid, gas in solid type of. What is pumice stone? Basically, the volcanic rock. We get it like this is a volcanic, after the volcanic eruptions, that is the rock, and you know that this is solid, and it is having, you know, when a volcano is erupted, it is having a lot of gases. So gases in solid is what pumice is. That is your volcanic. Next, which complex compound is most stable? Which complex compound is most stable? So if you see, all are monodentate. Here we have ethylene diamine, and this is your chelating ligand. And you know that chelating ligand results in the ring formation, and it leads to stability, right? Entropy decreases and stability. Consider the following compounds species. Tell me which are the number of compounds or species which obey Huckel's rule. So Huckel's rule is 4n plus 2 pi electron rule. So if you say this is the aromatic, yes, this is the aromatic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is aromatic. Naphthalene is aromatic. Now, this uh, cyclobutadiene is your anti-aromatic compound, right? Because this is 1, 2, 3, 4. It is following 4n pi electron. So this is anti-aromatic. This one is also aromatic. This one is also aromatic. This one, no, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is anti-aromatic. This one is aromatic. And what about this one? We know that it doesn't look like this. It exists in the form of what we call tub shaped, and so it becomes it is no longer planar. It becomes non-planar, and hence it is non-aromatic. So the one which is not, which is following the Huckel's rule are 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 out of 6. Just a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, out of 7, 4 are following the Huckel's rule. 4 are aromatic. Next question. The equilibrium concentrations of the species in the reactions are these respectively. Delta G value. We know that delta G naught is equal to minus RT ln of K. Right, or we can also write it minus 2.303 RT log of K. But for that we need K equilibrium. So K equilibrium is T concentration, and T concentration divided by K concentration. So this is 10 into 6 upon 2 into 3. So this is 10. And we know that log of K is 1. Log of 10 is 1. So what do you get? Log of 10 is 1. So delta G naught is equal to minus 2.303 into 2 calorie per mole, 2 calorie per Kelvin per mole, and this is 2, and T is also given 300 into 1. Solve it and you get the answer. So the answer will be around minus 1381.80. Solve it, you will get minus 138180. Okay, let us see the last question. The last question is regarding the balancing of the redox reaction. Now this is also very simple. Now see, We will try to balance the charges first. Yes, we will try to balance the charges first. The charges will be balanced like this. So this will be 2a, yes, 2a and minus 2b. So minus 2a minus 2b plus c is equal to, this is so 2a minus 2b minus 2a minus 2b plus c is equal to 6a minus 2b and plus 0, because water is having no charge. So if you see this, so this will be, this gets cancelled. So what do I get? So I get c is equal to 6a plus 2a, that is 8a. So this becomes the LCM. So by this we get c is equal to 8 and a is equal to 1. C is equal to 8 and a is equal to 1. Then we will try to balance the oxygens. So if you try to balance the oxygens, that will be 7a plus 3b is equal to 4b plus by 2 plus c. Let us see this. So this is 7a and so a is 1, right? A is 1. So this is 7 plus 3b equal to 4b plus, this is 8. C is 8. So 8 by 2 is 4. 7 minus 4 is equal to b. So b comes out to be 3. So b comes out to be 3. A comes out to be 1 and C comes out to be 8. So A, B and C. So A is 1, 3 and 8. 1, 3 and 8. Second is the right answer. So I hope you have understood all the questions. Thank you so much.